Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. This interview was recorded on Saturday, April 17th, 2021. I have the pleasure of speaking with Ivan Bayoukih and Jim Lewis of the subreddit group Wall Street Silver. Subreddit group was created on 29th of January 2021 and has over 58,000 silverbacks or followers. Ivan's also the organizer of Silver Squeeze GoFundMe, which has raised just under $120,000. They had a goal of $100,000, so that went well. I have spoken about Wall Street Silver, the subreddit group, here on the channel, but now we're going to have a chance to speak to the two men that are behind the group. Ivan Bayoukih and Jim Lewis. Nice to have you on the channel, guys.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you, Mario. I've been watching your videos for quite a while now, and I'm honored that I'm actually here, talking to you. I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank you very much. So, where should we start? Who had the idea? I know that I was following the Wall Street bets like a week or two before it kicked off, because one of my viewers told me about it. And it's really good having followers and getting messages from them, because I wouldn't have learned about Wall Street bets and what was really behind it. And I started thinking as well, even before Wall Street Silver came up on subreddit, that gold and silver have been huge shorts for the bullion banks. And I thought to myself, it would be great if we could get the same kind of enthusiasm for silver and gold. Of course, we're looking at silver. I think silver is even more manipulated. I started buying silver in 2003. It was about 9 months after I started buying gold, and I worked in the city, and I could see the patterns every day at the same time, the price being manipulated. So it was very lonely for a lot of years, because without social media, the only people you could really talk to about this was like family, friends, or colleagues at work. And not everyone was willing to listen. Not everyone cared or understood about silver and sound money. So do you guys want to start and talk about how you had the idea and how it's going right now?
Well, like everything in Canada, it started with hockey. So I'll go ahead and let Ivan tell the story of how the Edmonton Oilers led to Wall Street Silver.
Yeah, I was watching Oilers with my dad. It was January 28th or 29th, and I seen Wall Street bets, and every single day they were growing by 1 million users. First day was 1 million. Second day it was 2 million. Third day it was 3 million. And I was like, hey, we have to create a community, because I've loved silver for so long. We have to create a community and start waking the masses to real sound money. So then first day made it. Second day I was just growing, inviting people. And I instantly started targeting Wall Street bets silver posts, because I started seeing that they were being censored. Silver posts were being censored on Wall Street bets. People were being blocked or banned. You can't even talk about silver on different subreddits. So I started inviting thousands and thousands of people. And yeah, it turned into something completely beautiful.
Yeah, I remember because I was following Wall Street bets, and they only wanted to talk about GameStop and some other stocks.
AMC and Nokia. Yeah, exactly.
And they didn't want to know about silver. So it was probably a good thing, though, because then you start your own Wall Street silver subreddit. You also have a YouTube channel and a few other social media platforms. Do you want to tell the viewers about that?
After a couple of weeks, Ivan and I were working on Wall Street Silver for a couple of weeks in February, and it was taken off. We had, 20, 30,000 members already in February. And we were like, well, you guys want to start a YouTube channel and start interviewing some people? And So, before long, Ivan, another fellow, Lee Justo, who's worked on Wall Street, he's a trader there. He's in our interview videos, and myself, we just started inviting people. And sure enough, before long, people like Jim Rogers were accepting our invitations. And we had Bill Fleckenstein and Rick Rule. He's accepted our invitation and came on and chatted with us. And it's just been a blast talking with these people who have been, I've watched these guys for years on the various, on television or on YouTube interviews, and to actually have them accept our invitations and come chat with us. It's been an amazing experience. And I hope people are getting something out of it. I hope I've been able to ask some questions. And what was really, the one thing I really got a kick out of when interviewing Jim Rogers, he pulls out his silver stack. That guy has North Korean silver coins.
Well, silver, isn't it? I couldn't care less,
But Jim Rogers, he's thinking so outside of the box. He's like, wait, he thinks eventually North Korea is going to collapse, and then those silver coins minted in North Korea, he thinks will be twice as valuable as the silver content, just for the historical value or the collectability value of a North Korean silver coin.
Oh, yeah, Mario's pulling out some silver.
Mario's pulling out a stack now.
Well, actually, I've got it's a silver a clip holder, money clip holder.
Oh, that's cool.
Silver dollar. That's a nice one.
What is that? 1 ounce?
No, I don't know the weight. I just bought it as for I
love that
clip. And I've got good. The latest bars I bought were these 100-gram bars. They're really nice.
Ooh,
they look like the gold bars.
Gotcha.
I hadn't seen that before. But yeah, Jim Rogers, I mean, that's quite impressive that you got him on, because he knows what he's talking about. He's he worked for George Soros, so he's been on the inside. So
I think he's probably still on the inside.
Yeah. But I like your silver bars there. You got a big vault, Jim.
Oh yeah. That's my. You like that? That's where I sleep every night.
Did Perth Mint send that to you?
No. Perth Mint's out of silver. They don't have anything.
Yeah. So
it's funny when I'm interviewing like a silver mining company, I'll switch my background to my open pit in my backyard there. But
where are you, Jim? Because
I'm in
Florida. Florida, yeah.
Yeah. So my open pit has some alligators. My open pit mine has some alligators in it.
Yeah. And I saw the other day, because it was end of January, well, right around when you started the Wall Street Silver subreddit group, January 29th. I think that was I think that was Sunday. And it was really kicking off the silver market. I was on a live stream with a few people like Chris from Arcadia Economics, Chris Marcus. They were really excited. We had Bill Murphy from GATA. I don't know if you heard of Bill Murphy.
Yes.
He's been.
We've had Chris Powell on. We interviewed Chris. Yeah.
He's been trying to expose the bullion banks and the central banks, and the market really rallied strongly above $30, and then I think 2 or 3 days later, the head commodities guy from Goldman Sachs came on with CNBC and said that demand was a little stronger, but there was plenty of silver. But lately now, there's been a report from the LBMA, which I spoke about a couple of days in my video, that actually they came within weeks of running out of silver in London in the LBMA. So I think this movement, people learning about silver, that you have to own it physically, that there's a difference between these synthetic or ETFs. I think it's making a difference. And I think the bullion banks and the powers that be are concerned. So even though we're still under 30 in the paper price, I think the fact that there's a lot of shortage in the silver market is difficult to get silver, and the premiums are really high. Here in the UK, we pay VAT on silver, but before the VAT, the prices are, the premiums are at least 30%, sometimes 50 or 100%.
Yeah, it's crazy out there right now. And I do think we are having an impact. There's been a large social media campaign it's pretty much started with our subreddit, Wall Street Silver, but we've continued it on Twitter and on YouTube. And I know Chris Marcus has also been repeating this on his channel, that people need to get out of SLV. SLV is that big ETF that is doing some very shady things with their prospectus in terms of no one's really sure whether they really have the silver that they claim to have. And the big movement has been to get people to sell SLV. And instead, if you want to have exposure, if you need to be in a fund, if you can't, the first choice is obviously take physical delivery, own your physical silver. But some people, due to circumstances, they prefer to do it through a fund. If you do have to buy a fund, Sprott, the Sprott PSLV, the physical trust, we have a lot of confidence that they are actually taking the 1,000-ounce silver bars off of the market and putting them into their private vaults. So that is a fund that is fully backed by 1,000-ounce bars that I think a lot of people have a lot more confidence in than the iShares SLV, which I think is that's where a lot of the focus has been if you can't take physical delivery.
Unfortunately, I think Wall Street, the bankers, they want to be in on the action because physical gold and silver are not like financial instruments, at least not in the UK, for example. It's not regulated. It's just like you going out and buying a chewing gum or something. So the bankers, they need to create these instruments, paper instruments. And the other thing they do with it, they hypothecate it. They lend it many times over, and that's a big problem. And that's how they manage to keep the price manipulated for so long. And unfortunately, most people want convenience, so they say, "Oh, I don't want to buy physical. I want to be able to get in and out." But I've been trying to inform my viewers for over 5 years that the only way to beat the bullion banks and to bring down this fiat currency system, because I don't think it's sustainable, and it's 50 years is too long, and we're seeing all the symptoms of it, all the debt, the inequality. Yeah, the only way to do it is to keep chipping away at the supply of silver and gold as well. Yeah, I think we need to just keep going. And I saw that the LBMA report, their conclusion is that the social media frenzy, Wall Street silver, that's abating and disappearing. But I think they couldn't be more.
Oh my God, we're growing. We've grown we were 50,000 members last week. Now we've grown 8,000 members in the past week. I mean, our Reddit community is growing faster than ever. It's turning into a hockey stick in terms of our growth chart. So if they think this is abating, they're crazy. They are crazy.
I guess the Edmonton Oilers would be happy about the hockey stick.
Yeah.
I remember. Wayne Gretzky. He was a number 99 for the Oilers. Back in the 80s. So Ivan, could you go over a little bit the GoFundMe and what you're planning to do to get the message out to the general public? 58,000 is good, but we want to see also maybe start going into the millions, like maybe Wall Street Bets. That would be great.
Yeah, the absolute goal is to get to the millions and wake up the masses. First step is doing that with the billboard campaign. We're doing everything from social media. We're going Cincinnati. We have billboards coming up in Las Vegas. It's going to be really exciting. But the most important step to this is when these billboards go live all over the US and in Canada, we need people to go there and start spreading it and start sharing that on social media, because that's how you wake up the masses and get this thing to be into turbocharge. So that's why we have created a podcast. We have a Gab. we have a Twitter, we have Instagram, everything above, so that we can, when this actually goes into effect, we can go worldwide. And it's not just going to be billboards. There are going to be bumper stickers, all the fun stuff.
And I saw as well, you're going to have billboards like in Europe as well, another place, Asia.
Well, the current money, we didn't raise enough to do, of course, go worldwide. The 113,000 that was raised was in Canadian dollars. So once that converts to US dollars, it's in the 90,000 range in US dollars. And what we've paid for with Lamar Advertising for billboards is about $62,000. So it's used up about 2/3 of the money for the billboards we've already arranged. And then we got a lot of feedback from our members that they wanted to see not just billboards, but some social media also. So we're working to figure out how we can spend some of the money effectively on Twitter or YouTube, or bring in the social media that has a bit more wider reach for getting this message out. And Ivan and I doing things like coming to visit the other different channels that talk about these things is also part of the process.
And to my viewers, make sure you and most of you are interested in silver, are silver stackers. Make sure that you go onto the subreddit if you're on Reddit. If you're not on Reddit, maybe think about going on Reddit. I've been on Reddit for quite a few years, but I usually don't use Reddit. But I have joined Wall Street Silver. I joined Wall Street Bets as well, and you can join also Twitter. Are you on Instagram as well?
Yeah, we have an Instagram account on, so all of our links are on the subreddit community.
Yeah. Great. And so
we have about 1,200 followers on Instagram now. Over 10,000 on the Twitter account follow it. So they're getting to be good sized.
I've been trying to get the word out before I started making my videos on YouTube late 2015. I wrote a little bit about, I had a blog back in 07, 08 when I was still working in the city called forsoundmoney.com. But back then, before the financial crisis in 08, there's very little interest. People didn't really care about fiat currency or fiat money, gold and silver. But nowadays, you say fiat currency or fiat money, people know what it is. And I think being my age and older, and even though I've done well on YouTube, I think the young people, they really have it down pat a lot of times with these campaigns, with the hashtags, and also the memes. I think memes are really important as well, like the silverback that seems to have caught on. Have you got any more ideas about memes?
Yeah, Ivan?
Yeah, no, we have lots of memes coming up. There's the nice thing about Wall Street Silver on Reddit is not only are you going to have the due diligence on the silver, all the information that gets you to start waking up, but the memes on there is incredible. You have quality people, like over probably 50, 60 people making just anything connected to silver. We seen some on Indiana Jones, and he had SLV in his hand, and he had paper, and he was switching it out for real silver. So there's a lot of people on there doing fun stuff. Yeah. Even on wallstreetsilver.com and wallstreetsilver.ca, we have links right to our Instagram, and there's a bunch of memes there as well.
Yeah, it's amazing the people who are members of that community, Wall Street Silver on Reddit. They're professional video editors. These are people using their professional talents to create content for the community. And it's just very entertaining. Some of the hilarious nature of everyone sharing these things and then voting on them, and the best content rises. The way Reddit works is people submit a post, and then everyone else in the community votes on it, upvote or downvote. And through this voting process, the highest voted content rises to the top and gets more visibility to everyone. So it's a very useful way to just go find great content very quickly about the subject that you care about.
And I think young people, the memes give a strong message. I heard someone say that with a meme, you can explain something that would take an essay or a small book to explain. And look at in the cryptocurrencies, even though I don't want to get too much into cryptos, but you have, I followed this coin for ages. I even had some years ago, it's called Dogecoin, with it's got the Shiba Inu, and some people call it the dog coin, but it's Doge because he's supposed to be the Doge of Venice because he wears that hat.
Oh,
But that was a meme like 5, 6, 7 years ago, the Doge, and you had memes with him wearing the Doge's cap or hat, and even my daughter knew about this back then, and young people. Yeah, and I think it's really important. But now Dogecoin is going through the roof, and I think they even said, the guys who created said, we don't understand why it's worth so much.
Yeah, so it's a total joke, isn't it? I mean, it's it was literally designed as a joke.
Yeah,
to make fun of Bitcoin. I mean, something like that.
Yeah. So, any ideas, any thoughts on what's going on right now in the silver market? We've seen that gold looks like it's bottomed in the last few weeks and is starting to pick up. Silver yesterday was doing quite well. It closed up on the day, but it came off the highs. Do you guys have any thoughts on what's going on and how the premiums are in Florida, where you are, Jim, and also in Canada? Is it still really hard to get the real thing?
What's great about in Florida is if you buy more than $500 worth of silver, there's no sales tax. There's no taxes. I mean, if you do a small purchase, 1 or 2 coins, you got to pay a 6 or 7% sales tax. But if you step up above $500, there's no taxes at all. And so I know in Europe, you guys have to deal with the VAT taxes, which can add 18%. What do you pay in the UK?
20% in the UK. Yeah. But I'm not sure. I don't think there is VAT in some other countries in Europe, like Germany. But you can get away here in the UK if you buy the equivalent of constitutional silver. In the US, you can buy pre 1920 silver sterling coins. There's no VAT on those. I've got quite a few of these.
Gotcha.
But I recommend people go on eBay to look for them. If you Google pre-1920 sterling coins, you can find them.
Isn't it amazing that it's been 100 years since they've made real silver coins? Isn't it just
Wow, yeah, I was reading about the bull market of 1919. So another one of my viewers sent me a link. I didn't realize after World War I, there was a huge bull market in silver. It wasn't surprising because silver is used for a lot of weaponry, and silver basically tripled in price in 1919. And that was one of the reasons why they had to take half of the silver off the coinage in the UK. And then until 1946, let's say this sterling silver coin became half silver. And then after World War II, same story. And then, you had a lot of inflation, spending. So by 1947, they took all the silver out. So now we've had since 1947 in the UK, no silver in the coins. I think Canada was 1968. In the US was 1964.
Yeah.
So it's over 100 years that we haven't really had sterling, even though our currency is still called sterling, British pounds.
In Canada, there's no taxes either. You can just go up to any store or order online. There's no taxes on silver, so that's really nice. But the premiums are still high. You go into any of these. I went with my dad to a little just a pawn shop on last weekend, and there was a guy selling a 10-ounce RCM bar, and I asked him how much, and it was it was ridiculous. It was $500 or $480 Canadian, which I was like, no, man, there's no way I'm paying that much of a premium on that. But from you go online, certain websites, and you can get it for a decent price plus premium, which I'm absolutely happy to pay that. But if it's out of control premiums, I'm not paying that.
What about in Florida, Jim? Is it fairly easy and low premium at the moment, or?
Well, I typically buy. I went and bought a bunch. I took my kids in February to buy their first silver bars. I wanted it, so I bought 15 of those Sunshine Mint little 1 ounce silver bars, and I paid $35 per ounce for my local coin shop at that time. I think since then, that was at the peak. That was when the spot price of silver was 28 or 29 US dollars per ounce. Since then, silver's come down to 20. I think it got as low as 24, but now it's back up to 26. And so I think a lot of the online dealers are around $30 to $31 an ounce right now for US dollars. So it looks like, the premiums were always $3 or $4 an ounce above spot. So it looks like right now online, they're about, $5 or $6 an ounce over spot. So premiums are not as crazy as they were back in February and March. I think it's a bit, but they're still a little elevated. That's what I'm saying anyways.
One thing I find encouraging as well is that younger people are starting to look into silver. And when you touch your first silver coin, you realize how special it is. And also when you take the old coins and the sound it makes, the clinking.
Yeah, clink them together. You got to hold them on your fingers and make that chime.
Because a lot of people assume that younger people are going to want to go into digital currencies because of technology. But I think that's mistaken. What do you think about that?
Well, a lot of them were too smart for that. I mean, or not all of them, of course, but part of what Ivan's goal when Ivan's the guy who originally started Wall Street Silver. I came along a day or two later and started helping him. But Ivan's goal was to wake up the masses, wake up the younger generation. And I think that's what's obviously happening on Wall Street Silver is we are creating a new generation of silver stackers through memes. Like you said, pictures are as valuable as 1,000 words. A well-designed meme that makes the point through an image and just a few words is very powerful with the younger generation. And so using things like that on Instagram and on Twitter has been extremely powerful, I think, so far.
And I think the goal, at least for me, and I think it should be not to think of getting rich or making buying a Lambo or like people talking the cryptocurrency. It's a way of preserving your savings and your wealth. It's a store of value, silver. And I think the way also our monetary system is going, I think, having a few silver coins or silver bars is going to go a long way because if we have a collapse of the currency system, the dollar, I think we could have a period. It won't last forever, of course, where you might have to actually barter or use silver to survive and to buy things, everyday necessities.
Well, that's why, I have a monster box of 500 American Silver Eagles just for that purpose. Just so I have 500 coins. If we ever, I hope I never need it. I hope I can give it to one of my kids in my will when I pass away, completely unused. But in an emergency, I've got it. A lot of my other investments are in like silver and gold mining stocks because I think those will do well in the current investment climate. But everyone should also have that emergency. Enough to get through a couple of months of silver coins in exactly like you said, in a barter type scenario. What our governments are doing with our fiat, with our currencies. I assume the UK is doing the same thing as the United States federal government, just printing to finance their deficits right now. Is that what's happening there?
Yeah, so
Mario?
our GDP is around 2 trillion pounds, and we ran in the last fiscal year that ended just in the beginning of this month. I think we had a 420 billion pound deficit.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's like 20%. So it's
Yeah.
crazy. Of course, the UK not having the major reserve currency can't keep printing as much and coming out with all these stimulus as much as the US. But yeah, we're falling. The US. So is the ECB. So is Australia. I've seen the monetary base in Australia is just going up by 100 billion, I think, in
Mhm.
the last couple of months, which is
Yeah. They're,
crazy.
they're, they're all looking like hockey sticks right now. Their money supply charts. It's just crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So, what about in Canada, Ivan? Same thing.
Oh man, I remember when I was younger, 2008, 2009, everyone in Canada used to talk about how, oh, the Canadian dollars is just as strong as the US dollar. But you look at now, it's completely like it's nothing compared to what it was when I was younger. So you can see more government spending. Trudeau is a nutcase. He's printing a ridiculous amount of money and just going crazy with it, canceling a bunch of ridiculous things that will help the Canadian infrastructure. So yeah, there's more printing, more spending. The silver is the only thing that will be the greatest hedge against inflation. Silver and gold, can't say just silver, but silver is going to be a huge thing because the masses can afford it. And I remember 2015, I can just go and get silver for $20 or $21 Canadian. 2015, 2016, 2017. Now, good luck trying to buy it for $41 or $42 Canadian. And at the same time, I would rather get rid of a fiat fake dollar for something real and physical, like real assets.
Mario, it's crazy that all of the currencies, all of the major currencies, are doing the same thing. They're all printing, and their money supplies are just going ballistic. So relative to each other, they're not, the dollar versus the euro, or the dollar versus the pound, or, the pound versus the euro. They don't look like they're moving that much, right? It looks like they're staying the same value relative to each other, but they're all printing and creating currency like there's no tomorrow. So in reality, they're devaluing, but it's sort of not visible because they're all doing the exact same devaluing at roughly the same time.
That's what people need to realize. Hedging fiat currencies with other fiat currencies is a losing proposition, I think, in the end of the day.
Well, it's all about heart. It's not just gold and silver. I would never go all in just on gold or silver. What I tell people people who are willing to listen is it's hard assets, whether it's real estate or other commodities, gold, silver. You got to have something real in your portfolio these days. And hard assets is where you need to be during a currency collapse or a currency devaluation, in order to protect yourself.
I saw last year there were a couple of very wealthy people. I think one of them was Malone. He's the head of I think it's Star Media. It's like a big cable TV in the US. And he was saying that he's buying farmland. I saw that Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is now the biggest farmland owner in America now.
Yeah, Dyson, the guy who builds the vacuum cleaners, he's done really well. He's the biggest landowner in the UK. So yeah, I think I know there is like a bubble right now. It seems to be property, real estate prices are going up again here in the UK. I think they're going up again in Canada and the US.
Yeah.
But I had an uncle in Brazil, because I grew up in Brazil. I think in the late 80s, we had a currency collapse. And luckily, he bought a property for his, because he's a doctor, he bought it for his practice. And he completed the sale. And the next day, they reset everything. and he was lucky because the cash he had the day before became worthless, but he had a house for his practice.
Yeah. Well, that's where I live in Florida. There's a very large Brazilian community here. And it's basically a lot of wealthy Brazilians who did not trust what's going on in Brazil the past decade or so. And anyone who could afford to get out of Brazil has moved to Florida. If you had the connections where you could get a visa and get your money, your wealth out of Brazil, and they're all dumping it into real estate in Florida, in Miami, Orlando, Tampa. My daughter was telling me 1/3 of her classmates in school speak Portuguese, and the soccer team here where we live, because there's so many Brazilians in our area, it dominates the high school soccer teams across the state, because it's basically all Brazilians that are playing on the high school team.
Well, I'm unusual as a Brazilian because I wasn't good at soccer or football. I don't like I like instant coffee, and I don't know how to dance the samba. My wife is English; she dances better than I do. But I also heard an interview recently. I forgot who was. I think it was on King World News. Don't know if you've heard of King World News.
Yeah.
And they were saying that back in the 70s, and I was a boy, I was quite young in the 70s. I know there was a lot of inflation, but I didn't keep track of things. But apparently, used car prices used to go up quite a bit in the 70s, which is something unusual.
That's weird.
It's something that's starting to happen again in the US and here in the UK as well. The other day, I just checked the price of my car. There's a website here, service, webuyanycar.com, and you put your registration in, and they tell you how much they'll pay for your car. And I was surprised to find that the value of my car has gone up in the last 3 years.
Wow. This is the first I've heard of that, but I haven't been paying attention to that.
So that's a sign, I think, of I think what we're going to get, we're getting already, is like a stagflation. And I think with the lockdowns, a lot of small businesses, restaurants and shops, they're going to go out of business. So there's going to be less supply of those services around. And so when the economy reopens, we're going to see even higher prices.
Just more mega corporations will be in control, and then less middle class,
less small
owners.
mom and pop businesses. Yeah. I honestly think they rigged it that way. Here in America, a lot of the Walmarts, the Costco's, the Target stores, they weren't forced to shut down. They were kept open as essential. And all the small, medium to small businesses were forced to shut down for months at a time. And what happened in Amazon? What happens then? All the power transfers to the big corporations and Amazon. And I'm sure the same thing happened in the UK.
Exactly same thing. And the other thing, it cuts competition. There's less competition. So the big corporations, they have a lot more pricing power. So
yeah, it's really it's almost to the point where you think it was all planned in advance.
Yeah, I've spoken about that. I try to avoid it a bit now because you want to stay on the social media, but there's a book from I think the 80s or 90s, Lindsay Williams, Pastor Williams, he wrote about the energy crisis in the 70s, and his book is called The Energy Non-Crisis, because he found out that it was all planned. It wasn't just the Arabs that cut the supply of oil. There is a lot more to it, and I think the same thing is happening in this latest crisis. But have you guys got anything you would like to say as we wrap up here about your subreddit group and what you're looking to do and how people can get involved?
Ivan?
Yeah, most important thing is wake up everyone you know to silver. wallstreetsilver.com is now live, wallstreetsilver.ca. When you come to our Reddit page, we have absolutely everything. There's a place for new people to start where you can do due diligence. There's all of our social media links that are linked right to our Reddit. But the main message is just like what you were saying earlier, Mario, is enthusiasm and waking up people is more important than ever now, because that's all it is spreading out the message. And we will wake up millions of people to start buying silver. That's our goal.
Jim?
Yeah, no, Ivan nailed it. This is a mission about education, and explain. You know, our grandparents already knew this. They knew what real money was back before 1971, when we were on a gold standard, or back in the 20s, or back before this current generation has grown up, thinking that fiat currencies are normal, that this is just how things are, and our grandparents knew that that's not the case. That silver, real silver in coins, was real currency, real money, I should say. And what we're doing right now with paper currencies is not sustainable. You can't have central banks just printing, and thinking that you're creating a viable financial stability for an economy. It's fake. And part of our mission is just to educate people on sound financial money practices, and using silver and gold for that purpose.
That's well said. And wrapping up, I will say that if you look at all the names of a lot of currencies or fiat currencies, you've got the dollar that used to be the thaler. It's a silver coin from Bohemia. You've got the name for money in French, argent. That's silver. In Spanish, the name for silver for money is plata, which means silver. So yeah. Hopefully, I think education is really important, and it's one of the reasons why I've been doing my videos, to get the message out there. And it's great to have you guys join in, because we need more and more people, and the more the better to divulge this message. So thank you guys, and I wish you all the best with the subreddit, and I will keep publicizing it in my videos. And
thank you.
I wish you all. You're welcome, and I wish you all a great weekend, and hopefully talk to you again. I wouldn't mind going on your channel either.
We would love to have you. Yeah, bring it on. We'll have you on our channel also. Great. We'll continue the conversation.
No problem. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. And
have a good weekend.
You too.